Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the farm. Today we're going to continue where we left off yesterday with our chicken process. Yesterday we showed you the harvest, and today we're going to show you step by step how we actually butcher our chickens and get them in the freezer. So it's a whole family affair. I'm here with my beautiful wife.
Hello.
And we're going to get going right now.
Here we are driving, and what do we see? This
Oh,
isn't good.
I'm going to get out and run with them. Saturday morning, we were going to butcher chickens over at my mom and dad's, and our pigs are walking down the road. Oh my gosh, this ought to be fun. Ziggy, here we go. Here, pig, pig. There's 4 of them. Come on, pigs, come on, pigs. Come on, pigs. I got 4 of them. Not sure where the other 3 are. Hopefully they're down here. Pigs, come on. Get going, get back in. All right, they're all here. We got the 3 behind us. Still have 4 up on the field. We got to get some feed. We got to get them down before they get back out on the road. Pig. Pig. No. All right, guys, we got them all back. What a job that was. They were, to put it into context, they were a couple hundred yards up the hill on the main road. Just craziness, not exactly what we expected to see this morning. And unfortunately, the little ones came down here and they squeezed under this fence, which is not a good habit here. So what was about to be a peaceful butchering morning turns into a pig hunt, but we got them all back. We're gonna go butcher some chickens now. So after a little bit of delay, here's our chicken process. All right, so to start off, I usually grab a couple birds out of the cooler right off the bat. You want to give them one final rinse before you really start to part them out. They were sitting in some bloody water overnight, so rinse them off real good. Kind of shake them out a little, set them aside, get ready to cut them. A couple things before we start. First thing you're going to want is some good sharp knives. It doesn't really matter. It's more of a personal preference on kind of what works for you. I like one with a little bit of a curve, a little bit of flex. It just makes it easier to get in some of these smaller areas on your chicken. We're also going to set up some dishes. This is where our parts are going to go. We already pre-labeled some of our bags here, so we can just quickly get them in the vac sealer bags and get them sealed up. If we have extra hands, it goes a little bit easier. As I'm cutting, somebody else can package them. Just keeps the process a little bit cleaner. We'll get them sealed, and then we get them back in a clean cooler, which is going to transport to our freezer once we're done. I do want to say, full disclaimer, I'm not a professional butcher here, but I do think this is a skill that we've been developing over time, and you can save a ton of money by doing your own processing here rather than sending it out to a butcher. Now, there is a time and a place. I do believe larger animals, it probably pays to have a professional handle that for you unless you have the knowledge yourself. But the way we do it is different than what other people do it, and that's fine by me. We get nice clean cuts, we're happy with our cuts, and we continue to get better each time we do this year over year. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna cut the legs first. So if you look right here between the breast and the leg, there's actually a little air pocket. So that's where you're gonna take your first slice. The best way to do it is actually hold your bird up in the air. That way it separates the leg from the bird, and it just comes off like that. Basically, you're gonna pull your leg back, and you're gonna find this joint, you're gonna cut right down, and right off you go. There is your leg, very easy. Throw them in a bin. I like to keep the legs and the breast separate. The wings we'll set aside, we'll put those in a Ziploc bag. We move forward to the second leg. Now for this one, I'll kind of almost hold it reverse. Being that I'm left-handed, you can hold it the opposite way. You'd probably start with this leg. But you can see again, you have this nice air pocket. It's almost like a skin flap. Your knife's gonna go right through it. Basically come in behind the wing, slice it down. You know, pull your leg back, right under the joint, and right off you go. There's your leg. Now we keep our legs whole. You can take it a step further, and you can actually find the joint right down here and actually cut your thigh and your drumstick apart. We like to keep them whole. They just cook nice that way. Like to throw them in the crock pot. It's a good way to make the whole leg. Now the next, we're gonna go to the wings. So similar to the legs, you kind of use the pressure by holding your bird up, and you get right in behind your wing bone here. Again, there's another joint you can kind of cut right down into, slice it off, and there's your wing. Same thing on the other side. Again, if you're right-handed, you're probably gonna do this in reverse, but we're just gonna cut down. Now one thing you wanna do with your wing, you wanna make sure that you don't cut into your breast. Your breast is gonna come right here, and it's gonna meet your wing there. So if you cut too deep, you're gonna hack into your breast, and you certainly don't wanna do that. All right, so lastly, we're gonna move on to the breast. This is probably the most complex cut, but it's really pretty simple. First thing you're gonna do, you're gonna take your thumb, you're gonna kind of feel for that breastbone. Now what I do, I start in the back here, and you basically are gonna guide your knife right down that breastbone. You can see here, you just kind of trace that breastbone down, put your thumb in there, get it nice and clean cut. Spread that breast open, and you're gonna start to the back. You're just gonna slice it out through right up the back there. Now when you look in here, there's another piece of cartilage or bone. So you're gonna take your knife in, and I'm doing this upside down just for the camera, but you're gonna take your knife right up that cartilage and slice it clean. Again, using gravity by holding this breast up, you just basically slice right down along your rib cage, using your thumb to kind of keep the meat elevated. And there you are. Now what you can do at the end, you can kind of trim up anything you want. Trim up that little piece of cartilage there. Now we can use skin on, or you can take your skin off. Typically what I'll do, I'll put out a couple breasts, and then I'll end up either pulling the skin off. And you can do that just by hand. And then you can also trim up kind of however you want if you want a neater cut. But this is a pretty good cut right here. All right, on to the second breast, same thing. You're just gonna trace on down that bone. Right out through, using the gravity of the bird, holding the meat up. You're gonna cut right to the back. Short cuts are better here, and there you go. Now anytime you part a bird out, you are gonna lose a little bit of meat. You can go through, you can pick everything off. We tend to save carcasses a lot of time to use for stock and bone broth. All right, so one more time through the whole process. First thing you're gonna do, use the weight of the bird for your leg. Take that right off. Find that joint, cut right on down through the back. Same thing on the opposite side. See the air pocket, you're gonna find that. Again, find that joint, cut right underneath, right to the tail. You're gonna find your wings. On to the other side. And then on to the breast. Again, use your thumb there, find that bone. Right down the center. Again, using the weight of the bird, hold your meat up a little bit. Slice it off. There's one breast. On to the other side. And again, you're just going to want to use your knife, kind of feel your way through this. Short cuts, slice it off, and there's your two breasts. Now to take the skin off, pretty simple. You just get your hands in there. You could take a knife. It's just easier sometimes to just get your hands in there, pull it right off. There's a skinless breast. There you have it, two skinless breasts. So just for visual then, this is what your chicken will look like parted out. You're gonna have your two legs here. You're gonna have your two breasts, and then you're also gonna have your two wings, just like that. So again, you're gonna get more meat if you leave your birds whole, but this makes it very simple for cooking. We typically will package 4 breasts in a vacuum sealed bag, maybe 4 to 6 legs, and then we take a large gallon Ziploc bag and we'll put 8 to 10 wings in. This is a full wing, so if you're buying wings at a restaurant, it's gonna be split here, and essentially this is 2 wings if you're actually counting in restaurant retail terms. All right, so packing them up, we got our bags. It pays to pre-label them with the date. We don't go crazy with putting what exactly they are. Chickens are very simple. You have your breasts, your legs, and your wings, so it's pretty straightforward, easy to identify. But basically, like I said, we're just gonna pack 4 breasts per bag here. Make sure they get in there towards the bottom. Obviously, the flatter, the better. Just helps you once you get them in the freezer. And to keep it clean, we'll put everything in bags first, and then we'll start sealing. That way we're not constantly touching our vac sealer with chicken hands. Not always the cleanest there. So we'll package everything up, we'll do the breasts, then we'll move on to the legs, and then we'll finish with the wings. Now we move on to our legs, and I just kind of turn those 2 different directions so they fit in there nice. So I got the wrong bags. We're gonna do 2 per for the legs. That's fine. Legs, you can get a couple packs out at once, really not a big deal. And then we're gonna use these Ziploc bags to just drop our wings in there. Wings don't really vac seal that great, so we just found that it's easier to use a nice big gallon Ziploc. All right, so now we're moving on to our vac sealing. And basically what we use here is just your simple food saver model. Not the best. We are looking to upgrade at some point to a chamber vac, but it has done its job over many years for us. The only issue that we really have ever run into is it does tend to overheat when we do a lot of meat at once. but we figured out kind of a system on how we let it cool for a period of time in the meantime. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna seal all this, and it'll continue through the rest of the day. All right, all the chickens are packed. We got our turkey here in this freezer bag. 50 chickens, 6 turkeys, split between 3 families. So we're taking 17 chickens, 2 turkeys, throw in the freezer. All of that paired with the chickens we did earlier this summer. Plenty of chicken and turkey for the year. Really happy with the way it turned out. It is a very quick process for us. We did get interrupted again in the middle of parting these out here. Our pigs broke out again. We got a call from the neighbor. Local police unfortunately showed up, and we did have to go get our pigs back for the second time today. So I believe we put the fix in place on the gate. That gate's not gonna come off anymore. I'm also gonna put some electric up just to make sure that they're not getting out anymore. Haven't really had any issues with our pigs, but for some reason today they decided that they're gonna interfere with our chicken day, and we had to take care of business there. So that's it for today, guys. Very eventful morning here. Should have been a quick one, but took a lot longer due to some delays there with the pigs. But we got our chickens cut up. If you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button in front of you right now. And guys, it's Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for watching.